Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 26th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aries, and we're going to see what is going on for you. You start off with this Mars card that says motion and this dignified card that says strength on it. The Mars card obviously would be your card. Also, I just dropped a card, so let me just grab it real quick. It was the Nine of Wands. It wasn't in reverse. I just dropped it. So, we'll put that over here and we'll keep our eye on it. But what I would say is we're gonna do past, present, future. What I'm trying to spit out here, Aries, and we're gonna see what is going on for you. So you have that Mars card, which again is your card, the dignified card, which says strength on it. I feel like you need to stand in your power this week. I also feel like some of you could be feeling this need to stick up for yourself in your life. And I would do that, if I don't think you have to, we're not talking about sticking up for yourself by being a jerk or anything like that. Not that you would, Aries, but I'm just saying, I feel this need to kind of stand up for, something in your life here. And it could be your truth, your own inner truth. For some of you, I feel the only way that really, this might not be a good answer for you here, Aries, but what I will say is for some of you, I feel like the only way you can stick up for yourself is to prove it. Let's say you want to start a business here and maybe people in your life are hating on it. I feel like this is saying, well, just go start it and prove it, because that's the only way you're going to be able to stick up for yourself. Same thing in love as well. It's maybe you have a partner who's kind of not carrying their weight, which we see kind of right here going down to the Justice card. But Three Swords, Five of Cups, and the Justice card, it's someone isn't pulling their weight in a relationship, or this could have happened in the past as well, of course. And I feel like this is saying you need to stick up for your true desires, right? And I get a little bit of fear. It's interesting that this card did pop out, because this would be a card of sticking up for yourself. And again, I want to stress that we have Mars going retrograde, so I wouldn't be starting fights or arguments or any of that stuff. That's not what I mean by sticking up for yourself, right? But what I mean by that is, it's if you're in a relationship and you're not getting anything out of it, leave. That's sticking up for yourself. If you're holding on to a person, maybe they're kind of leading you on here with the Knight of Wands at the end. Could be an in and out energy. Maybe they keep kind of giving you false hope or whatever. Leave. I feel like this is talking about your confidence, becoming more confident, standing up for yourself is what I would say to you. You do have the Three of Swords here in your past position, so there could have been some sort of heartbreak, but you know what, it's weird that, this is weird to me. We have Three of Swords, Devil to the Lovers. So for some of you, it's you could have experienced a lot of negativity in a past relationship. It could have been very toxic. It could be toxic right now. You could still be dealing with this person. But I feel by releasing them, this is what you're going to get, is the opposite of the devil. A real person who really wants to be with you. For others, again, I feel this is some sort of truth that you've been feeling for a while, where it's you need to make a change. You know that something in your life could be, maybe it's affecting your health, maybe it's affecting your time, maybe it's taking too much energy from you, or maybe you're just not seeing any growth. It's sometimes in business we have to make a change. Maybe it's your business, maybe it's in work, right? And maybe you are kind of admitting that truth to yourself. I also feel some of you have admitted the truth to yourself, in the recent past, where you've said, you know what, I need to make a change. I need things to be different, right? You even have the World, which is a card of completion. So I feel some of you have completed a journey or completed a cycle here for sure. Although you do have the Round and Round card coming up next. I would definitely be careful of X's at this time. Pretty much every single person I've read for at this time has had something about an X. We have a Mercury retrograde, sorry. And again, you have that Round and Round card, which is saying, do you really want to repeat the same story with a person over and over and over again? I would be very careful of that, especially with this and that Round and Round card. The World doesn't really represent that, but again, I read intuitively, and that's what I'm getting, is that there could be, maybe you've already made a repeat mistake, and which is fine, but because in the future it looks like you're kind of focusing on your own balance, your own inner voice and all this other stuff. But again, let's see. With the Three of Swords, you have this risk card. Here you go. So maybe it was a risk for some of you to deal with a past person or whatever, but I feel some of you did take the risk in the past. For others, I feel like you are taking a risk of kind of like, see this guy, he's kind of like going off on his own. He does have this bear behind him, but you know what I feel like this is sometimes I think in life, maybe we do have something behind us that is like pushing us forward, right? It could be some sort of like a bill, for example. Maybe you owe a debt or something like that. It's like it can be like a bear that is behind us. It's like we feel it behind us, but it kind of also pushes us forward and moves us forward in life. I think as long as we use things like that appropriately and we use it for like the right kind of motivation, if that makes sense, then we'll be fine. And I kind of feel like some of you, it's like you have like something kind of, it's not like chasing you, but almost it's like in the background, something that you've been trying to get away from. For other, like for some of you, I don't even think it's like a debt or anything. I think that maybe you have a business, for example, and maybe you only make a certain amount of money. You're trying to break out of it. It's like there's something behind you that is kind of like pushing you forward here. We might have to get more details on this in just a minute. With the Ace of Swords, you have this resourcefulness card. I feel like you are very resourceful at this time. I also feel like you need to look at, I feel like I said this to you last week, now that I'm saying it. I feel like you need to look at all the things that you've accomplished up until this point in your life here, Aries. I feel like you've accomplished so much. I feel like you've gained some levels of success. I feel like you need to realize that you have talents, gifts, skills, and abilities because of the things you went through. And it's like now you need to use those things in your future life or in whatever it is that you're moving towards. With the World card, you have this Secrets card. Some of you could have been dealing with a person who has secrets or who is sneaky or secretive. For others, I feel that this is saying, it's like, I don't really feel like you have a secret, although you do have I will say, you have the Ace of Swords, this Truth Be Told card, the Devil. I mean, I would definitely be careful of anyone who's sneaky in your life. But what I'd say is, I don't think you have secrets. I just think that internally, there's a change that you want to go through, and maybe you just haven't revealed this change to the world, right? And we kind of see that here. In your present position, you have this Truth Be Told card. You also have this Round Around card. So I feel for some of you, there could be a truth coming out in a round around situation, especially if you were with a person and you just keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again. I kind of feel like it's your truth. Like I said, I feel like if you are in a round around situation, you have the Six of Swords here. You also have that risk card. That really tells me that you are the one that would be taking the risk to walk away from something. So if you have a person who's just around, it looks to me like you are the one that's walking away. I do not think that they believe it. So, I don't know, good for you. I feel like you're standing up for yourself, sticking up for yourself, like we said with the Nine of Wands, which I think is like the most important thing that this reading is talking about, is that Nine of Wands, which happened to jump out. I also feel that some of you are kind of like working towards a new truth. Like I feel, I've been getting this feeling for you for the past few weeks, really, or months. I feel like I've been talking to you about this, where it's like, sometimes I think we have like a business or a job, and it's just like no longer something that we want to do. It's not our truth any longer. We no longer feel connected to it. But it's like that weird in-between time where it's like you have to go find something else or you have to go start something else, because it's like obviously we need money to survive. So we can't just like quit one thing and then wait until we find something else. And I kind of feel that some of you could be kind of in that like limbo period where it's like you're trying to find something else, or maybe if you have a business again, you're trying to get something else going or started. And I feel a lot of you have been thinking about, if you have a business, I feel like you have been thinking about kind of either getting something else started or changing the way you do things in your business. You have the Devil, the Five of Cups, and the Six of Swords. Again, I do feel like some of you could have been dealing with someone who's toxic in the past. Could have been a Capricorn, could have been any sign. I mean, you basically have everything here. It really, would standing out to me is Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo, because you have the World card here, which would also be Capricorn. I would also add to that Gemini, but I kind of feel like there could be like either a more positive Gemini coming in for you, or someone who has Gemini like in an important area of their chart, like their rising sign, their moon sign, something like that. So I kind of feel like that's a new person, but I feel like the past person, very toxic energy vampire. I kind of feel like they thrive off of other people's energy, and maybe that's what you're realizing here, Aries, is that a past person, maybe they got into situations, and maybe you notice this in their personal relationships as well. It's like maybe they weren't like a bad person, but maybe they were just toxic. Again, I think the whole this person's toxic type thing gets overused in general, right? It's like not everyone is toxic. Yes, there are plenty of toxic people, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just overly positive. But again, if like someone breaks up with you, it doesn't make them toxic, right? There's this like whole movement I see of people who are like, this person broke my heart, and it's like, well, okay, that's life. That's what happens in life. We just have to suck it up, right? Um, Excuse me. You have the Five of Cups here. I do feel like if you're dealing with a person, this is a person who has regrets, but I feel like this person has circular regrets. That's literally the words that are popping into my head. I feel like they get with you, they leave, they have regrets. They get with someone else, they leave, they have regrets about that. Then they get with you. It's just like this. I feel like they have multiple regrets in their life, and that's what you could be dealing with here, Aries. For others, I feel like the funny thing is, I feel like this is you. It's almost like you're thinking about your future and you're saying like, if I don't do this, I will regret it. Those are the words that are popping into my head. So for some of you, it's like, it's like I always tell the story. It's like I wanted to be a chef when I was younger, right? So then I became a chef at a cafe I was working at and I hated it. But it's like if I didn't do it, if I didn't have the experience, I probably would have regretted it because it was something that I always wanted to do. But then I found out I didn't like it. And I kind of get that feeling here with this Five of Cups. Maybe if you like, the reason I'm saying this is because if you haven't done something yet, maybe you're overthinking it. Maybe you're saying like, what if I hate it or whatever? It's like, so what? I quit, right? I hated it. I stopped doing it, plain and simple. And maybe you could do the same thing. It's like but maybe also you'll love it. Maybe you will find the thing that you're truly meant to do, but you won't know unless you experience it. And I have a very strong feeling that you need to experience something. The other thing that I am getting that is crazy is that for some of you, I think it's like the best thing you'll ever do in your life. So whatever you're thinking about doing. For some of you, I keep getting the word independent popping into my head, but it's not like you being independent. It's more popping into my head that some of you, maybe you're thinking about moving to a more independent career or an independent business, right? Where you're kind of like, you're only relying on yourself. And I kind of get that feeling here where you could be doing something more independent. I feel like you need to do it for sure. You have the Six of Swords here. Moving on to calmer shores. I feel like you could be surprising a person for some of you because I really feel someone thought they had a hold on you, but they don't. So you're moving on to calmer shores here. I feel like you're done with this energy. I also feel like you're no longer stuck. He has this thing right here, this stick that he's pushing into the mud. These Six of Swords, like in reverse, for example, can represent being stuck in the mud, kind of being stuck in, and I feel like that's where you were. I feel like you are no longer stuck here, Aries. The interesting thing is I feel at the beginning of this year, it's almost like you get hit with a bunch of clarity, and I feel like it's a good thing because I feel like this clarity is going to help like motivate you to find more success, to make more money, to like do all the things you want to do. And it makes sense based off your astrology. Look at this. With the devil, with the devil, Aries, you have you showing up here. Aries, this is the sun in Aries. It says assertion in it. And look, here we have the dragon, which could be the devil, right? So I feel for a lot of you that you could be kind of conquering some sort of toxic element in your life. For some of you, clearly it's a person. I don't think it has to be a person for all of you, obviously. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like you're kind of moving away from something that has been toxic in your life. You're overcoming something, whatever it is. I love it. With the Five of Cups, you have this patience card. I feel like you were too patient. I feel like you're done being patient. Look at this. Taurus, Leo right here. So definitely could have been one of the fixed signs that you were dealing with. I feel like you're moving towards someone or something that's much more flexible, someone who's, I feel like they're just friendly as well as like what I'm getting here, which is very interesting. They're very different. I feel like they really want to take care of you. So, take it how it resonates. The other interesting thing about this card is I literally said independent on that Five of Cups. She reminds me of the Nine of Pentacles, this lady right here. So I definitely feel you're stepping into your kind of like your Empress, energy, whatever you want to call it. With the Six of Swords, you have this bluff card. Someone thinks you're bluffing. I'm telling you right now. Look, you have this bluff card. I really think this person is going to be shocked that you're walking away. I really feel that they thought they could call your bluff or that you are bluffing, and I do not think you're bluffing at all. Same thing with a boss or mentor. I'm getting something with the hands as well. Someone could have a problem with their hands or something if you're dealing with a person who has a problem with their hand or their hands, probably their right hand or something like that. Could also be a person who has issues with their father is what I'm getting. The right is like the father, and it's popping into my head. So you could be dealing with a person like that. But there's something about hands here. I'd be careful of your hands as well. If you work like around like heavy machinery or anything like that, I don't know how many of you out there do that, but I'd be careful with that energy for sure. Next, in your future position, you have this social media card. It says, make money with social media. It will be very lucrative. Influencer, YouTuber, Instagram shop, or any type of social media business. I think everybody needs to do this, but that's just me. You have this card that says, don't lose yourself trying to hold on to someone. There you go. There's someone much better coming in for you. I mean, I really feel that some of you, it's like, not only are you shocking a person if you're walking away from a person, but I feel like you're going to be surprised by like a person that you could be meeting. And again, it could be Gemini stands out to me. That's the only thing that stands out to me right now is they could have a Gemini placement in their chart. But by holding on to a past person, I feel like you're preventing yourself from having a new person come in for you. For some of you, I feel like you are, like, I feel like this does not apply. For some of you, I feel like you've been single. So wouldn't even worry about it here, Aries. I feel there's just new love coming in for you if you want it. But I don't know why I'm shuffling this. We haven't even gone through these cards yet. You have the Lovers, the Knight of Wands, and the Justice card. I do feel like some of you could be seeing someone getting their karma, someone who broke your heart. Again, if we go this way, 3 of Swords, 5 of Cups, to the Justice card. So it's like you could be seeing someone get their karma. I really feel like you are getting karma, like in a good way. You're being rewarded for like all the things that you've been doing. I also feel like you're bringing more balance into your life. Things are becoming more predictable. Like if you've been worried, about predictability, right? Like if you've been worried about like where's my next paycheck going to come from or any of those types of fears, I feel like you're kind of setting things up as we move through this year that are more predictable, or at least you're taking like more control back in your life. I think I said this to you in your last reading as well. I get a very like similar message. It kind of reminds me of like me. It's like I have other businesses, but like I don't want to lose this YouTube channel, obviously, but over the past year, or actually like 3 years, I've been working to kind of diversify like where I have everybody. Like I've been setting up all my other social media channels and all the other stuff, right? So that I don't lose it. Like, so if something happens to YouTube, I have everything else, right? And I kind of see you doing this. It could be it could be in your business. This could be with your health. It could be anything, but I feel like you're just diversifying like your life in general. And I'm definitely getting that message here, Aries, that's what you could be working on. It's like you're making sure to not put your eggs in one basket, right? And this goes for everything in your life, not just business. You have the Knight of Wands. Again, I feel like there's a person who will just, is like a yo-yo in your life. They go away, they come back. They go away, they come back, like just nonstop. So, I feel like you need to cut this out. I really feel like you are cutting it out. And I feel like you're really focused on your own desires. It's like what I think you're realizing about a past person, if you've been dealing with a past person like this, is I feel like you're realizing that it's like that they never gave anything to the connection. I feel like you're realizing that you are the one that constantly gave. But you know what? You know why this is manipulation here, Aries? When it's like scientifically proven when you do something for someone that you like become more attracted to them, or you become more you form a deeper connection to them because you're like, oh, your brain at least is like, oh, I did all this stuff for them, so they meant a lot to me, or they mean a lot to me currently, right? And I don't think that's true. I think that's true. I think you just did a bunch of stuff for a person, or they got you to keep doing things for them. Maybe this isn't like how, I don't think this person thinks, oh, I'm going to use this psychological trick on this person. I think they're just a manipulator, right? But because that's how they manipulate, they get people to do things for them. And again, I don't think they do this on purpose. Maybe they have some mental issues or something. But because of that, I feel like you felt like that's really probably why you felt a very deep connection to this person. It's really because you did things for them. It's really because you cared for them. And I'm not saying you didn't care for them. I feel like you did, but I'm just saying that, I think that's the thing that kind of maybe kept you going back, if you kept going back to a person. So there you go. But you have the Lovers. I feel like there's new love coming in for you. I feel like you're picking a new path in love and picking a new person, and you're going to something much better. I'm noticing the purple. There's purple here. There's also purple here on the Justice card. Purple in the tarot kind of represents royalty, or, like royal energy. And so I feel like there could be like a very like divinely guided, like, kind of like king, queen type of connection going on here, whatever you want to call it. So let's see what we get for you. With the Lovers, you have this generosity card. Again, someone who's very generous. I really just see someone who just really wants to, be there for you, wants to care for you. But I feel like it's really important that you open up to this here with this reading. It's like, I feel like if you're, closed off, it's not going to happen. So I would change your love story for sure with this energy. Take time to heal if you need to. Do whatever you got to do. But this person is very generous. Yeah, with the Knight of Wands, you have the harmony card here. So I feel like this person, a new person, could be bringing a lot of peace and harmony into your life. I also feel like for those of you that are kind of like, diversifying your business, or maybe you could even be diversifying your health or something else in your life. It's like you're kind of not putting all your eggs in one basket. There's a great book called Anti-Fragile. That's what this is. And I read that years and years ago, like when it first came out. But I've been thinking about that a lot. I think during times like we're in right now, where you have like the recession fears and like all this other stuff, it's like a great time to think about how can you become anti-fragile? How can you kind of make it so that, you're kind of like unbeatable, or you can't be knocked down, right? That's what I'd be focusing on here. It could also be a Libra that's coming in for you, Aries. With the Justice card, you have this Order card. And yeah, you're getting things in order. This is like exactly what I was talking about. Look at all these things in order and things being balanced out. So I feel like that's what you're creating in your life. But this looks like a pretty good reading, especially if you want love. If you don't want love, and even if you do, looks really good for work as well. But we're going to pull 5 main themes for you now. You have this time to go out and have fun card, this Grapes card. I feel like you need a social life. I feel like some of you have been spending too much time at home. And I think this is true for everyone, just in general, but including me. But, I'm not perfect. But I feel like you need to get out. You have this Wedge card. It says someone is trying to come between you and a friend. I would be careful of anyone from the past. Like if you have a person from the past, or if you have one of those people who, it's like I can't explain it, but I've known people in my life, and I'm sure you have too, where it's like you get a new friend and they kind of like start acting jealous and stuff. I'd be very careful of people like that. You have this Bell card. It says announcement. I do feel like there could be an important announcement coming in for you, but I feel like you are the one that's making the announcement. You have this Rainbow card. It says most difficult part of a situation is over. I feel like you're moving past whatever this mess is right here. For others, I feel like you're kind of going towards your pot of gold, really. And wasn't it you I did the leprechaun thumbnail for? I'm pretty sure it was you. I feel like you're finding like a pot of gold. You have this dog barking. It says advice from a friend. I feel like there is good advice from a friend. What's really interesting as well? I feel like some of you, it's like there could be like an enemy. Or maybe there's just a person who you see as an enemy. But I don't think they are. But I feel like they're giving you advice, and I think it's good advice. So I don't know. I would take it. But this looks pretty interesting. So thank you for being here, Aries. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.